Hey everyone, Dave here. We're doing the Veto MCTP Infrared. It's outrageous. This bag is sick. I've lost my magnet. I've got the thing on the phone here. This is actually the first time I'm using this little camera at home, and it's a little weird, but I've got it on the screen here so I can see what's going on. Pretty mad, so I'm going to be looking down at myself. It's confusing. Anyway. Here it is, the big dog. There's stuff everywhere. Getting the whole table and everything sorted would be a great idea before starting something like this, but you know, that's just me, unorganized and chaotic. So let's get into this. So we will see here on the first side, this is the MP2X. This is the pouch that I've been running with. We'll move this out of the way for a minute. So this is the pouch that I've been running with up until very recently. I had the MP2, which was the leather model, which didn't have this hook on the side, which digs into your hip, but I've got a little solution for that. I'll show you that at some other stage. But yeah, this is a great pouch. I like it because it has the extra little pouches in there. Focusing on that, focus, yeah. So it's got the extra pouches in there. That's really handy. So I keep like a ruler, you know, my little file for just anything and everything. Got my little inspection mirror for when I'm like looking for cables in the walls. So very handy. A couple of little screwdrivers. And yeah, so like the rest of this little setup is pretty much as I use it day to day. Now for roughing in, I don't use this pouch because it is actually pretty heavy. This is more of a diagnostics, fit off, whatever sort of bag. So yeah, I've got a little, it's hard to get to, but I've actually got it in there. If you can see it, I've got a little flathead driver that will fit in this screw. So, you know, I've got the flatheads here and here, but sometimes you need to undo something a lot. And this is it's the new Vessel. This is only the 1-speed one. It's still USB-C. I think it does 280 RPM. Someone was asking me about this, and then this one is the OG. Fucking Addicted to Tools sent me this one. Like, I'm gonna say it was at least 3 years ago now. So it's still going. It is a bit sticky with the button, but on the top there, if you notice it wears off a little bit. So I actually thought the new version, it's got like a little indent that isn't ever going to wear off, but this one, like the sort of nub on the top has worn off just from repeated use. Anyway, this one's a little quicker. We'll set it on the max speed because this one's the 3-speed. So max speed on that one, it's a little bit faster. I mean, who's counting though, really? Like, it's fucking not that big a deal. It beats unscrewing it by hand. That's the real reason. Anyway, back to this pouch. So we've got the little solar level on the front. I've got the Milwaukee fastback knife with the screwdriver on it. I've usually got one of these on my belt too. This is just on there because it's, you know, it is a part of this kit. I've got the Pica pencil. That's the mechanical pencil style one. Don't have to sharpen that up ever, which is nice. Sharpie, nothing too crazy. So I'm just checking down here because of the focus. You know, maybe I should put it up there on top. We'll see. Anyway, got me limited edition. Love the limited edition, man. Like, use them, right? Just use the limited edition. It's better. It's so cool. Everyone's jelly of them. So use them or lose them. All right, got the Marvel crosscuts. These are years old now. I've got videos on like detuning the edges because they're super sharp, and my apprentice cut something with them, so that got rounded over. There's nothing special about that. People ask occasionally, but it is just nothing serious. I've got an orange circ stripper in here. So how that works is it's got a little blade in there that'll spin around. So you wrap this around the cable and then pull, and it'll strip the sheath off. Got the Pica pencil for deep holes, or Pica marker, I guess it is. Volt pen, yada yada, Fluke, can't go past the Fluke. Got me orange tape as well. The reason I have the orange tape, and you can get it from Pacific Components now, is that I've just instated like a company policy, and I've seen it at other companies, but new company policy is that any tails during a rough-in, if it's not fit off, it'll be twisted all together and taped. So any potential live ends in a rough-in situation, or like you get into a fit-off situation, you're not gonna have a cable in the wall that ends up being live, you know? So it's something that easily prevents a bad situation. But yeah, so anyway, so twist and tape, and then the orange tape. So if you see any orange tape around, you know that the cores are twisted together. It needs to be fit off properly. So that is the MP2X. Great little thing. And the good thing about this bag is, if I can lift it up, is that it will fit on the end here on that hook. And I just, it does hang there, but it drags on the ground a bit. So I've just been slimping it down on there, and it just sits on there nicely, and it's the right height and everything. So great bit of, great bag. I love the MPX series bags, they're excellent. We'll go on the other side here. So this one came off a different bag. It was the SPMC, I think it was. So I've got the drill driver part of that bag with the, you know, just the new impact driver. Very powerful, like kicks ass, and then the tape just sits on the end there. So yeah, that's a great little thing as well. And just because of this design, you know, can we see? Just because of this design here, that's only magnetically held on, but it just slips on there, and it's perfect, mate. It's perfect to keep the drill in there. You don't have to keep the drill in the bag. It does make this bag very long when you're dragging it around, but I think it's just great. And then obviously we've got some little pockets here on the side, so I'll just keep some extendo bits in there. We got just a drill bit. It's one of those protected, so that's one of the Crescent Alpha bits, but it's got like a protector on it so it doesn't scuff finished surfaces. And then on this side, just got another ruler and a pen in the same pocket. We'll just do the outside of the bag. So I've got my primary lockout tag just here. It's just got the key on one of these clips as well. I don't know what these clips are called, but they're excellent for getting your key on and off. I don't know how I've done this. Yeah, there. So you just pull, key goes on your belt, can't lose it, you know. And then these lockout things are great too, because you don't need a screwdriver. You can just twist that, flip it up, put your lock in, and you're good to go. So you don't need the little flathead to do that. And I've got just some cable ties and a little tape measure. So I keep the little tape measure on there. That's not really for this bag specifically, but in small kits, sometimes it sucks having a tape measure in your kit. So, you know, this one's a 3 meter one, it gets you out of trouble. And I've just got my little Stabila key ring. I don't know what's on there. It's kind of a decorative thing at this point. So we'll do the flip before we get inside. We've got Maddie's magnet holder. Lost the magnet though. I think that's on site somewhere. It might be stuck to a roof, as they do. And then on this side, I've got a couple of carabiners with, you know, some commonly used bits. So I've got a deburring bit there for threaded rods. And then there's a 5/16, a 3/8 bit for the sockets, and a 1/4 inch bit for the sockets. And then this one, these are the tradie bits key, and they came with 7, which was perfect for the Alpha. So these are the Alpha drill bits. I don't know if you can see them properly, but these are Alpha tap drills, and they are excellent, but I broke one, so I need to get in and replace it. But really, really good. I'll show you on this one, but it'll drill, tap, and because it's the spiral cut thread, like it's a spiral cut, it actually ejects the swarf, so you don't need to stop when you stop and back it off, stop and back it off. You can just send this all the way in. And then at the top here, it's got a deburrer, so it actually taps and then deburrs the top of your hole. The thing that I found with them though, and I've done it twice, I did it on a video when I first got these things, and actually the same thing happened when I broke the 6mm, is when you're coming back out, like, because obviously you use a, you know, what I use to do these, if it'll come out, where is it? I do use one of these, pop it in the drill, right? Because it is meant to be used in a drill. All right, everybody, we are back. Had to take a minor break. Perks of creating content in Australia is sunny days, most days of the year. But the other shit thing though is it's fucking hot here and my little camera just overheated after 10 minutes of recording. So we will get back into it. On these alpha taps, it chamfers the hole, but the thing that I've found is you snap these taps when it's coming back out. Because that little section there, obviously it's not tapped hole, so you can change the angle a little bit. If you change the angle on the way back, it'll just break the tap. So these are really good because they drill, tap and chamfer all in one thing, but just coming back out, you've got to be careful. So what I've been forced to start doing is tapping it with the drill, and then I'll take it out and I'll just undo it by hand, because, you know, it's breaking a tap is just one of the most annoying things on the planet. So yeah, how good. We love breaking taps here. Anyway, moving right along, we'll pop that back in there for now. So we will get to the meat of the bag here. So we'll get in the front side first, and I'll show you what I got in here. Right, so this bag is overloaded without a doubt, which is a little bit annoying. I don't like overloading Veto bags, but as you do, you always just need one or two more tools, and it's frustrating, but you know, we do what we do. So always got a pair of gloves in my bags, you know, just for keeping your hands nice and safe. Now these bags have a couple of pockets on the face here. So it does have some stuff out the front, but I've only got earplugs in there, I won't show you that. So first up, we have the Wera tool check. Absolutely love this thing. Aussie colours, and the bits actually really do suit the Australian ecosystem when it comes to bits and stuff. So that's really nice. Also in this pouch, we have a couple of these little dudes. So these are the Knipex XS series, like they're 100 mils, very cute. They're handy occasionally. I'm not going to say I use these all the time, but I have reached for them in some really tight spaces, and they are pretty good when you do use them. All right, we've just got some snap blades for my Knipex knife, which I do believe I have misplaced. And then I've got this little thing. This is the Klein sort of bit ratchet, and then whatever else, but it's a bit of a fidget spinner. So again, I'm sort of doubling up with that and the Wera stuff, but you know, they're nice little gizmos and I like it. So this is the Knipex multi-crimp, and this goes with this 5-way die here, right? So with this crimper and this die, you get 5 crimpers with the one tool, which is really good for saving space, though it is a bit hefty, right? But you know, I think you always need a crimper in your bag, so you know, we'll go with it. We'll leave it there. It's just a pain. Like, I mean, this is sort of my grab and go bag currently. So like if I'm doing any sort of service calls or whatever, this is the bag that I'm taking. And to be honest, it's gotten a bit heavy, so it's a little bit irritating. But again, I do have a good selection of tools in here, and it does get me by. So anyway, we'll keep going. I've got my Stabila torpedo level. This is the OG one that I bought. I had it for years now. Very, very good level. Can't go wrong with Stabila. And then my Allen key representation in here is the Wera ones, but they are the little teeny tiny ones. So really nice set of Allen keys. Oh, the missus is filming me doing a video. Just get out of here. It's embarrassing enough doing this shit online. Bye. These are exactly the same as the longer ones. You just obviously have a little bit less torque, but to be honest, I find with Allen keys, you really don't need like a crazy amount of torque with them anyway. Pop them back in here. Now inside the bag, for some reason, I have also been carrying this vessel bit set. So that has my let's we'll take it off. I haven't been carrying stuff on the outside of the bag until recently. Get in my video, mate.
Sorry, I didn't.
No. You got to come in now. Can you all sort off? I'm trying to make a living here on YouTube. Dougie wants to come in.
What?
Yeah, the little Sparky. All right, get out of here, mate. All of you just leave me be. On here, these are the vessel drill drivers, but they're specifically for circuit breakers. So if you can see that, they have a combination of Phillips and flathead, which marry up with our circuit breakers as well. Now I've got a big flat blade there, that's for my vessel driver. If I needed a big flat blade, it's a little redundant because I do have another big screwdriver in here. And then I've got the Klein flip socket set, and that actually came with that bad boy there, right? So that's that. We'll keep it out of the way, I reckon. Then the twin grips, we've got the twin grips in here. These are spectacular pliers when you need them. They will do a job that no other plier will do when you need them. If you need to retrieve a stripped screw out of something, these will grab onto the screw and they will get it out. There's obviously lots of different sizes as well. It'll do bolts. Yeah, just a terrific set of pliers when you need them. This isn't like a industrial service bag. I haven't really set it up for that, but I can't live without these now that I've got them. So they go in pretty well every load out that I do. We just have a little impact set of sockets that lines up with the little impact drill bit that I had before. And because I got the drill on the bag, I've always got like the drill impact sockets. Again, I haven't flogged those too hard, but they're the TTI ones. I think that's the Total Tools in-house brand, and they're good because the socket rails are half decent and they have the stamped sizes on the sockets, which some cheaper brands of sockets do not go with. And then obviously that laser etching wears off eventually, and then you have issues like identifying your sockets, and it's a bit of a pain in the bum. That little ratchet there, it's a little gear wrench ratchet. That just goes with the sockets. And also I have the little Weira bit holder. So the little Weira bit holder here, it's the ratcheting one. It's got a very smooth ratcheting action. It's really nice actually. So I use that with the tool check and any other little bits and pieces, you know, that I do. I keep looking down here because I've got my phone here and I'm just used to doing this on. But yeah, just checking it's in focus for you guys. All right, now we have the Pink Panthers. Love the Pink Panthers, like it's always a good joke. So they are great snips. They'll cut just about anything. Pretty well on par with the Knipexes. And to be honest, having both of these in the bag, like it's redundant. Like I really shouldn't have two, but I like using them. So, you know, again, but this is my problem with tool bag loadouts. There's a lot of things that I like using and it makes my bags heavy as fuck. Let's be real. Next, I've been doing a little bit of resi rat work at the moment, and this is the Tough Built saw. Now this also comes with some Recipro style blades. It's got a Recipro style setup. Hey babes. What's up? Oh, you're getting a cheeky drink, are ya? Yeah, go on. All right.
Bye guys.
All right, bye. Yeah, so Tough Built folding jab saw does, yeah, obviously I've got the Gyprock set up, but this is just a, if we release it, if we can, sorry it's all dusty and gross, but yeah, it's just the, it's a full-on Recipro saw blade, so any reciprocating saw blade will fit on this, which is really nice. Gyprock, mate, horrible stuff. Plasterboard for my international types. Big texter, everyone needs a big texter. Makes labeling stuff easy. The other little Weira bad boy set in here is the little Torx set. So again, another great little kit. They're security Torx from 10 and up, so it will do security cameras and that sort of thing. And then it's actually got a ball drive for the bigger ones on the bottom, which is super sick, actually. You know, you wouldn't think Torx would be able to do that, but they get away with it. Anyway, on here, now this is probably a bit of a redundant one as well. I do carry, now this is a Phoenix contacted brand driver. It's one of the ones with the magazine carries there. So that's a great handy tool for having, but to be honest, it is a little redundant with some of the other things that I've got in here as well. So I have been thinking about reworking this loadout, but we'll get to that. We'll get that at the end. I've got like a little surprise. And this is the flower version of the Weira pop out. Now I've had this one for years. No one else gets to use it but me. And it hasn't ever, I haven't ever had an issue with it. I do hear that they break and they're a little bit unreliable in that regard, but this has been really good. The mechanism has held up pretty well. I did buy another one of these and it's real loose. Like this just pops out, like it'll just pop out without touching. Yeah, mate. Yeah, you can have one too. Last one.
No more.
No more. All right. Go on, shut the door. Don't come out again. I'm busy. Yeah, so I bought a newer one of this and man, you can just touch the wings here and it'll pop open. So not anywhere near as nice. That'll spin on this one and there's no issue with it. So again, I might have got this before it was cool, but if I dropped this, I'd be very upset. Now in my new loadout, I was given the new version of this, the one that has the magnetic thing, and it only holds 4 bits, I think. So that's probably a little better, but again, I actually really like this driver and I've never had a problem with it. And obviously the bits that I've got in there are just suitable to what I like to use. This is typically the only insulated driver that I will keep in my kits, other than like my terminal ones that I have like on my MX there. Right, so they're just leaving there. And then also in here, I've just got a few more extensions. You know, usually if you're drilling 90 degrees, you know, sometimes you just need like these short ones, and you know, having like little extension, they do add up expense wise, but it's all good. I've also got the, what do you even call this thing? I've forgotten. It's good. If you've used one of these, you know how good it is. Happy days. Got my little cable tie cutters, cable tie shears in here. Little Knipex ones, very nice. And then yeah, down the rest in here, I've just got like an assortment of pens and textures, little spares, so you know, all that sort of jazz. Nothing too crazy there, right? I'll tell you what, it's a difficult habit to get out of, looking at my phone screen down here, because I do have it set up again, I'll show you. I do have it set up just so I can check everything's in focus, but looking at the camera is important on YouTube, so. Anyway, let's delve into side number 2. So in the bottom here, just always spare earplugs. Hearing protection is no joke. In fact, I probably take hearing protection more seriously than any other on site. I have an eraser at the top here. This is actually really good for getting fingerprints off ceilings. Let's get into this side. So in the front here, my 2 little bits and pieces. So I've got an Ox good rule in here. So it's a 600mm version of that. It's actually a pretty well designed little unit. It's got your angles there. 450 centers or 600 centers in Australia is typical sizing for studs, so lines up with them. It's nice, just nice to have a ruler in your bag as well, you know. And then this here is the PowerPoint mate. I've had this for ages. It's just got a little level on it, and it's the right cutout for PowerPoints, outlet switches, all that sort of stuff in here. So I've had that for years. Now in the top here, I'll just show you. So I usually just sit my little Fluke RCD tester in it. So we've all seen these now. It's a great little unit. It's got a beep to be on, and it will trip an RCD if you need it. Good little things. They're not perfect, but you know, for just doing a quick test, it is pretty good. I've got my Basher screwdriver. This is a Weira one. Had it for many years now, and it has copped a punishment, and it's still good. Like, I've chiseled stuff, and I'll show you, just have a look at the tip. I've got to sort the light out in here. But the tip's still good. Like, it'll still It still manages to drive screws as necessary, but yeah, I've absolutely wailed on this thing. I've got the Stabilo level as well. So another lovely little level. But I will compare them. Let's do a little comparison while I'm here. What do you reckon? I mean, they're probably pretty similar when it comes to accuracy. Well, actually the Solar says it's 0.75 millimeters per meter. This is 1 millimeter per meter. So the Solar is technically slightly more accurate. They do have the notches for putting on like a conduit or something if you're doing conduit, but yeah, look, they're both nice little units. I don't have a complaint about either. I was given that one, I bought that one, but I am a Stabilo fan and have been forever. So they're both good, but yeah, it's redundant. It's a redundancy in my bag, which I haven't really addressed. So anyway, moving right along, this is my light in the bag. So this is the IRTL 500, and it's got magnets on the back. It's got a few different brightness settings, but it'll flip around. It's got a little hook here. You know, yeah, so you can hook it onto stuff. And then obviously it'll stick to stuff. It'll just sit on things if you balance it there as well. So you can just plonk it on the top of a cupboard like I had it the other day. And obviously it's got many directional sort of options here too. So up, down, whatever. It's a great little light actually. All right, I just have a normal happy-go-lucky bit set with this kit, just to have some screws. I've got a couple of step drills in there as well. That's one of the alpha ones. There we go. Yeah, so it's got a step tip as well. So yeah, they're great drill bits. And then obviously this set is just a good set to have with like a drill driver, you know, like if you've got this with you, pretty well all of you're covered with all of those drill bits, you know. So yeah, it's a good little set. Then my needle nose pliers in this are the Fluke. The Fluke hand tools I'm not super hot on because I think they're a NWS rebrand, and I'm not super hot on NWS tools, but this one out of the whole kit has got my vote. This one's pretty good. The cutters on them are rubbish, and I don't like the cutters on the pliers of the Fluke tools, but you know, I'm a Fluke fan for the meters, not really the hand tools, but this particular one I'm on board with. I do have another little light in here, and it's that little uni light, pen light. It's a handy little one, that one. PL3, I think it is. All right, and then if we go over here, now I had to do a bit of conduit work on here. These are probably my conduit cutters of choice. Now, that being said, I do have the Knipex version of these, and the Knipex version are absolutely red hot. If I was doing deck work, I'd have the Knipex version. Day-to-day stuff, I think these are a little better because I baby the Knipex ones because they're just a little bit too nice. But these are the classic, the carpark ones, I think they are. And yeah, absolutely zero complaints with these. They're the perfect conduit cutter. And then tucked in the bottom here, we have my Weeha hammer. So I love this little Weeha hammer. A lot of people throw a lot of shade on this hammer about it being a bit too small or piss weak or whatever, but I've had this for probably 5 years now, and there's almost no reason to have another hammer in your bag as a sparky. I mean, unless you're getting like a sledgy, you don't need anything more than this. I mean, green plugs, knock-ins, dynabolts, like it doesn't matter. This thing will get it done. Like it's a 16-ounce hammer, but it's got a low profile head for like hitting next to things, and man, I can't fault the thing. Now, I actually have, where is it? I actually have its mirror. It's the Halterforce version, but this one's pristine, mate. I've never used it. So, but this one, yeah. These hammers are excellent. Like, you know, a lot of people throw shade on them, and you know who you are. We've had discussions on Instagram about it. So this is the older version of this particular stripper. So this is the Knipex. It is the 1262-180 strippers. They are this style. They pinch and then we'll pull the insulation off that way. And it's like a scissor sort of cut motion. So it's a nice clean strip. There's no extra marking on the cable. This is really good for like just normal 2.5, 1.5 if you're stripping a lot. If I'm doing a switchboard, I'm using these. All right, which goes hand in hand with my Knipex ferrule crimpers. So I prefer the four jaw style rather than the 6 jaw, because there's a lot of terminals out there that will fit a square crimp much better than a hexagonal crimp. Also, if you think about it from a terminal point of view, if you're putting these in push terminals or Wago terminals, whatever, like if it's a terminal bay, if you think about it, a square crimp is going to give you a better electrical connection, because those terminals either have a spring loaded or a screw, and that is usually a clamp style. So I think the 4 jaw is the way. Also in this bag, if I was doing, now this is again a bit of a double up. This is the neck strip, ferrule crimper and stripper all in one unit. This is the 1272-190. So this one I will use if I'm doing more of a control panel style wiring, where I'm ferrule crimping a lot. And yeah, I like keeping a couple of different ones because they're for different reasons, different things. So, and it all sort of fits, it does all fit kind of nicely in here. And that just sort of sits on top there, so it's all good, you know. And also in here I have a 180 set of Cobras and a 180 set of pliers wrench. I think these are probably the most versatile sizes. If you need something bigger, I'm happy to go to the car. Like this will get me out of trouble. I mean, you can see the grab size of that, it's pretty big. And then, you know, this will do like a 32 mil gland up, I think. Maybe just gets it. I don't have one handy, but I'm pretty sure it does a 32 mil gland up, which is about as big as you need to go. And last but not least, I have a shifter, normal person shifter. And I also have the little Barco shifter. So I do keep shifters in the bag for some reason. This happens to have a 17 mil ratchet on the end. And then I do believe that's a 10 mil bolt and a 10 mil? Yeah, 10 mil bolt and an 8 mil bolt there. So pretty nice, but I've got to be honest, they go different ways. So Barco, this is a Barco thing. Barco have a different direction for their shifters here, and Fuji's, you know, Fuji, Sigcram, like they're all, Barco just does it the other way. And I'm probably used to the Barco. This I sort of like because it's just a nice tool, I guess. Anyway, we do have a couple more pockets to delve through. We'll just quickly, so the tape I've got is just an 8 meter Fat Max, nothing special, Fat Max or die. That's my view on it. The meter pockets. Now my primary meter that I'm using day to day at the moment, every day, is the 117. I've had this meter, this was the first Fluke meter I ever bought, still using it to this day. I think it's a terrific meter, and as far as entry level into the trades, I think it's probably as good as it gets for an electrician's meter. If you put it on low impedance setting and you go active to earth on an RCD protected circuit, it will trip the circuit because that actually puts an impedance on a thing, which is good for finding ghost voltages. So if you've got like a 50 volt thing and you're wondering like, oh, am I going to get a little tickle from that? You can put it on low impedance and test it with that, and it will actually remove the induced voltage if it is induced. So, and then obviously it's just got a great set of settings on it. And I mean, let's be real, we're using the bell setting and voltage. So yeah, it's a great meter, love it, use it pretty much every day. And if you don't have a magnet on your meter, I don't know what you're doing with yourself. Up until recently, I was using the T6 1000 Pro. That was my daily driver meter. But since moving to this bag, the T6 doesn't fit in this pocket quite as well. And I like the T6 because it was sort of part clamp, part continuity voltage tester. But with this bag, because I have the extra pocket, I've also managed to squeeze this in, and this really does complete the setup. So this is the Fluke 325. Now this meter, as far as entry level into clamp meters, I think this is the one you should buy if you're going to get a clamp meter, unless you want to go to the 3.7 series, which are better and they have more features, but this one does all the basics that you will ever need out of a clamp meter. As a nicety, it has temperature. It comes with a thermocouple in the bag. So it has a temperature probe, and the big deal here is not only does it have AC clamp, it has a DC clamp as well. So in an industrial situation, there's a lot of time where you probably want to be checking the DC loading with power supplies and different things, because if you have an overloaded power supply, it can cause issues with the power supply down the line. It will probably handle it for a while. It might burn out eventually. So, you know, there's always a good reason to have a DC clamp in your kit. And this one is it. So 325, I would get this over the 323 or the 324 just because of that. I think the difference between those meters and this one is the DC clamp. I think that about wraps up the bag here. Nothing, yeah. So that is the Veto MCTP, the infrared. So I've been loving this bag, honestly. I think as far as it goes, it's definitely in my top 5 of Veto bags at the moment as far as the layout goes. The Veto MCT was my very first Veto bag that I bought, and Trav was a first year apprentice when I bought that, so it's over 10 years old now. So I've been a Veto slut for 10 years, and yeah, the MCT was my first bag. And what I used to do, I used to hang off this hook. I had like an old Fluke pouch, and I'd hang the Fluke pouch here and have my actually the 117 on there. So yeah, this obviously the handle's better, a lot of things are better. The meter pouches are absolute like no-brainer on bags. Like it's just such a critical thing for sparkies, HVAC guys, all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's it. This is the bag, guys. And again, thanks for watching. Flush cut your cable ties, and I'll see you on the next one.